Welcome, everyone. Look, is your life moving just way too fast right now? Or maybe you're feeling totally disconnected, even though you are, let's face it, tethered to your phone 24/7. If you're not in your head, or hey, maybe you're literally doom scrolling right now, you are absolutely not alone. Human life has just become faster than ever before. Every single day, we're juggling a dozen different things, right? Education, work, relationships, and our own soaring personal expectations. And sure, technology keeps us incredibly connected, but let's be honest, it is also this massive source of mental pressure and constant distraction. So many of us are dealing with stress, a complete lack of focus, poor sleep, and just total emotional burnout. We spend so much energy achieving things out there in the world, but we completely neglect the most important connection of all, that connection between our physical body, our mind, and our inner self.
Okay, so let's dive into this. Today's explainer is all about yoga, the science and philosophy of inner harmony. Think of this as your practical, beginner-friendly guide. We're going to take these ancient yoga principles, things developed thousands of years ago, and translate them into a real-world toolkit for modern balance. Because look, this isn't about twisting yourself into a human pretzel or doing something purely athletic. It's really about looking at the actual science and philosophy behind the practice so we can build a healthier, far more peaceful daily life.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the modern imbalance. Then, what yoga actually is. Third, we'll explore the power of breath, followed by mental and emotional balance. And finally, we'll wrap up with your daily yoga lifestyle. Basically, we're going to break down this ancient philosophy into structured, super easy to digest daily habits.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the modern imbalance, life out of balance.
And that brings us directly to Section 2, what yoga actually is beyond the poses.
Like we talked about at the start, we manage so much every single day, but we tend to ignore how completely out of sync we truly feel. We need a systematic way to fix that disconnect between what our body is doing and what our mind is experiencing. But before we can fix that modern imbalance, we've kind of got to clear up a massive misconception about the toolkit itself. The word yoga actually comes from the Sanskrit word yuj. It literally means to join, to connect, or to unify. Developed over 5,000 years ago, way before trendy athletic wear was a thing, this system was never just a workout. It was designed as a really profound technology to create a deep internal connection between your physical body, your mind, your emotions, and your awareness. It's basically the ultimate system of personal integration.
To get that complete integration, a yoga practice actually relies on 4 pillars. It's not just the physical postures, what are called asanas. To truly find that balance, you also need breathing practices, or pranayama, meditation and concentration, and absolutely crucially, a balanced lifestyle. So if you're out there just doing the stretches, you're honestly only tapping into a fraction of its true power.
But let's start with that first pillar, physical balance. Just think about the physical pressure your body is under right now. Long hours sitting at a desk, hunched over looking down at a screen, bad posture, you know the drill. The physical poses, the asanas, are designed specifically to counteract all of that. These movements improve your flexibility, your strength, and your coordination. And no, you absolutely do not need to be incredibly flexible to start. The real goal here is just teaching your body control and stability. Unlike a standard gym workout that might focus purely on brute strength, yoga creates a balance between strength and relaxation. Because a healthy body isn't just powerful, it needs to be stable, flexible, and comfortable to actually live in.
Moving right along to Section 3, the power of breath, your daily tool.
Now, this is probably the most actionable part of our beginner's toolkit today. We're talking about pranayama, which is utilizing your breathing to literally control your internal energy. When you're stressed, your breathing is fast and irregular. But calm breathing, it's slower, it's deeper. When you're stressed out, your breath just naturally reflects that mental chaos. But here's the secret, and it's a real game changer. It works in reverse too. By intentionally shifting your breathing, like try inhaling deeply for 4 seconds, and then exhaling slowly for 6, you are sending a direct, physical signal to your nervous system to calm down. Your breath is literally the strongest remote control you have for your mind.
Let's just walk through the exact physical payoff of this breathing practice. Step 1, it calms the nervous system right down. Step 2, it improves your concentration because by focusing entirely on the breath, you pull yourself completely into the present moment. And step 3, it creates a profound sense of relaxation. So the golden rule to take away from this is super simple. A controlled breath creates a controlled mind. Taking just a few minutes a day to sit quietly and deepen your breath is an incredibly powerful, totally accessible daily habit.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, mental and emotional balance, finding internal stability. So,
We've talked about the physical body and the breath. Now we've got to address the internal chaos. You know, that constant barrage of information, texts, emails, and anxieties about the future that just clutter up our brains. And here is where we need to bust the biggest beginner misconception out there. Meditation does not mean stopping all your thoughts. Actually, scratch that. It's impossible to stop all your thoughts. Instead, meditation teaches us to observe our thoughts without immediately reacting to them. Think of your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky, rather than these tornadoes you have to fight off. People try to meditate, their mind wanders, and they think, oh, I've failed. You haven't failed at all. The goal isn't to force an empty mind, it's to develop a stable mind. It is a daily habit that builds your focus, patience, and mental clarity simply by watching your thoughts pass by without letting them hijack your attention.
And when you practice observing those thoughts, you unlock incredible emotional control. This kind of practice encourages self-awareness, so you actually start to recognize what you're feeling in the moment and understand its root cause. By combining the breathing and the meditation we just talked about, you create this absolutely crucial buffer zone. It's a literal space between having an emotion and reacting to it. You get to respond thoughtfully to life, instead of just reacting instantly to temporary emotions. And honestly, that is how you build genuine inner stability, patience, and confidence over time.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, your daily yoga lifestyle, balance in practice.
Everything we've discussed so far, these core teachings, they extend way beyond just rolling out a mat for a 30-minute exercise routine. This philosophy influences the way we live every single hour of the day. Fundamentally, yoga teaches moderation in absolutely everything you do. If you have way too much work and a total lack of rest, the result is exhaustion, right? On the flip side, if you have too much relaxation and a lack of purpose, the result is stagnation. A truly balanced life, that harmony between effort and recovery, results in peace. It's about knowing that balance is never found in the extremes. A balanced lifestyle requires ambition for sure, but it also requires peace. It needs action, but it demands reflection.
And establishing this internal balance doesn't just stay bottled up inside you. It naturally radiates outward into your world. This kind of connection promotes values like kindness, discipline, respect, and responsibility. It's a great reminder that your personal balance and your social balance are deeply connected. When you become more aware of yourself, you naturally become much more aware of others and your environment. And ultimately, peaceful individuals are exactly what we need to build peaceful communities.
I want to leave you with this really powerful thought from our source material today. Yoga is not just something we practice, it is a way of living. I think that perfectly summarizes our explainer today. In a world where absolutely everything moves at warp speed, yoga gives us the framework to slow down, understand ourselves, and live consciously. It strengthens the body, sure, but it also calms the mind and gives us that essential emotional control. Just remember, the true goal here isn't perfection, it's harmony. So I'll end with this final question for you. Are you going to keep rushing through your day on autopilot? Or will you take 5 minutes today to actually breathe and live it? Take these basic tools out into the real world. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you found some clarity and inner harmony to take with you today.